The stars above Earth flickered faintly, casting a cool, distant glow on a planet that had once been the cradle of all humanity. Now, centuries after the wars that shattered Earth, the homeworld was but a distant memory, an artifact, a living myth. Vast monuments stood crumbling in forgotten deserts, whispering the story of a civilization that had reached for the stars and sacrificed everything for its survival. From orbit, Earth appeared silent, its surface scorched and barren, the once vibrant landscapes now abandoned to the winds of time. On the other side of the galaxy, humans had spread out, colonizing new worlds, but Earth was fading, its name only uttered in reverence or sadness. Few ever returned. Its history, its legacy, and its burning sacrifices were nothing more than shadows in the minds of those who had never known it. The cosmos had moved on. Humanity had risen, reaching further into the stars than even the progenitors had ever imagined. Yet, as the fleets of humanity continued to explore, the shadow of Earth still lingered, a silent anchor. Long ago, before humanity had learned to read the stars, the progenitors arrived. Enigmatic beings, they wielded technologies that seemed like magic to the early humans. Some called them gods, others saviors. They uplifted Earth species, guiding them to greater heights, gifting them knowledge that sparked a rapid technological evolution. But then, just as mysteriously as they had appeared, they vanished, leaving only remnants of their presence in the form of cryptic symbols, hidden technologies, and whispered legends. In the centuries that followed, the progenitors faded into myth. To most, they were nothing more than ancient stories, tales of gods who once roamed the galaxy. But for a select few, scientists, historians, believers, the progenitors were real. The story spoke of their return, a promise made, though no one knew when or why. Some laughed at these old myths, dismissing them as nonsense. Others believed, fervently. The tension between skepticism and faith simmered beneath the surface of human culture. But now, as the galaxy spun on its axis, something was stirring. Somewhere, out there in the dark void, the progenitors were preparing to return, and humanity was not ready. Deep in the frozen expanse of the Himalayas, Dr. Ayla Tron stood at the foot of an ancient ruin. Her breath clouded the air, but she barely noticed. Her mind was consumed by the task at hand, unraveling the secrets hidden beneath layers of ice and stone. She had always been drawn to Earth's past, the forgotten stories, the mysteries that others had abandoned. The progenitors were her obsession. From the first moment she had read the ancient texts describing their rise and disappearance, Ayla knew that they held the key to humanity's next leap forward. The last remnants of Earth were buried here, hidden beneath the surface, waiting for someone like her to find them. Her team worked tirelessly, digging through the ruins, uncovering strange devices and writing that no human had seen in millennia. As Ayla deciphered the alien symbols, a sense of purpose washed over her. She believed with every fiber of her being that the progenitors had left a message for humanity, a message that would change the course of their future. But there was a growing tension in her heart. Time was running out. If someone else found this site first, the knowledge might be lost forever. Ayla couldn't let that happen, not after everything humanity had endured. Lieutenant Ro Arcadi watched the excavation from the edge of the camp, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. He had been assigned to protect Dr. Tran and her team, but he had his doubts. The progenitors? Gods? It all sounded like a fantasy, a distraction from the very real threats facing humanity. He had seen what the galaxy could do. Aliens, weapons, wars. He had fought on the front lines, and he knew how quickly dreams of gods and ancient legends could be turned into weapons of mass destruction. His duty was clear: keep the team safe and make sure no one else interfered. If the progenitors had really left anything behind, it would be dangerous. He had no illusions about what humanity was capable of, but sometimes the unknown was far worse. He often clashed with Ayla, her idealism starkly opposed to his pragmatism. But despite his doubts, he found himself drawn to her passion. She was so sure of herself, so certain that what they were uncovering would save humanity. He wasn't so sure. As the days passed, Ro began to wonder, what if she was right? What if the progenitors had returned and what they left behind could change everything? Hidden in the shadows, the Watchers had been watching for centuries. A secret society formed to protect the ancient knowledge left by the progenitors. They knew far more about humanity's past than anyone could imagine. They had witnessed Earth's fall and had worked tirelessly to keep its secrets safe. For them, the return of the progenitors was not a moment of celebration, but a warning. They had kept Earth's secrets hidden, their existence in the dark, far from the prying eyes of humanity. Yet, as Ayla's team uncovered more, their surveillance grew more urgent. The Watchers knew that it was only a matter of time before someone would unleash the progenitors' legacy, and that knowledge might not be something humanity could control. Ayla was getting closer. They could feel it. The Watchers' mission was clear: prevent humanity from unlocking too much, or risk awakening something the galaxy was not ready for. The excavation site trembled. Deep beneath the surface, something stirred. Ayla, standing above a strange monolith, felt it before she saw it. A hum, a vibration that resonated through the ground. Then, as if from nowhere, a transmission crackled through the air, a cosmic signal encoded in an ancient human language. The team froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. It was unmistakable, a call, a signal from the progenitors themselves. The words came through, faint but clear. "We are watching. Prepare. The time has come." Ayla's eyes widened in shock. The ancient technology they had uncovered wasn't just a relic, it was a message. The progenitors were coming. But what did they want? Were they coming to uplift humanity once more? Or was this a far darker purpose? Ro Arkadi's skepticism was now gone. His breath caught in his throat. They weren't alone in the galaxy anymore. The gods, the progenitors, were returning, and humanity was about to face them. The monolith was only the beginning. As Ayla and her team deciphered more of the signals, they uncovered the truth. A recall beacon sent by the progenitors activated to signal their return. But this beacon wasn't a summons to salvation, it was a warning, a call for the progenitors to come back and reclaim what was theirs. The implications were staggering. What did the progenitors want? Had they left humanity to their own devices, only to return now to reclaim control? Ayla's excitement turned to dread. She had believed that the progenitors would be the saviors of humanity, but now the truth was becoming clear. The progenitors were not gods. They were a power, an ancient, untouchable force, and they were returning for something more than just a reunion. The team debated fiercely. Ro wanted to shut down the excavation to keep the knowledge hidden, but Ayla couldn't let go. She believed in humanity's right to decide its own fate, even if it meant facing the progenitors once again. The question remained, was this humanity's final chance for survival, or the beginning of their undoing?
The stars above Earth seemed suddenly dimmer, the sky darker. No one had been prepared for the sheer scale of what happened next. 3 vessels, massive, planet-sized structures, arrive, each more graceful and unnerving than the last. Their sleek, alien surfaces shimmer in the black void, reflecting the light of distant stars in eerie patterns. Their arrival is silent, save for the low hum of gravity being manipulated in ways human science can scarcely comprehend. The ships are surrounded by a shimmering field, bending the light around them and casting unnatural, sharp shadows over the Earth below. Humanity watches in awe, but also fear. These colossal vessels, so impossibly elegant, their curves and lines defying logic, move with precision, gliding as though gravity itself submits to them. They make no attempt to communicate, leaving Earth to wonder, are these beings conquerors, saviors, or something else entirely? The vessels hang there, immovable in Earth's orbit, their silent presence a declaration of power. The world holds its breath, the people gripped by a growing sense of impending change. Whatever happens next, humanity's days of ignorance are over. There is no transmission, no voice booming from the vast expanse of space. Instead, a wave pulses, a frequency that reverberates through the planet's crust, through the air itself. It's not sound, yet it is felt. An unspoken command reaches out, striking deep into Earth's heart. The dormant systems, hidden for millennia, begin to stir. The ancient neural interfaces buried beneath Earth's surface hum back to life. They were forgotten, lost to history, until now. Machines once thought of as myth or relics begin to move again, their power surging with an alien intelligence responding to the call of the progenitors. Cities feel the shift as old technology, untouched for ages, comes to life. But with it comes an uneasy sense of dread. What was once a part of humanity's forgotten history is now back in play, and it is no longer in their control. Isla, standing before an ancient console beneath the ruins of an old city, watches as the dormant machines begin to awaken, their purpose unclear. She senses the growing terror. Something bigger than humanity is at work here, and she is now caught in the middle of it. She feels both awe and fear, a sense of destiny, but also a realization that these systems could easily be used against them. Governments across the world, from the US to China to the European Union, scramble in panic. The progenitors' indifference to humanity's desperate attempts at diplomacy is clear. No communication, no acknowledgement of their pleas for peace. The progenitors have made their intentions known through a chilling message. We return to complete the shaping of our children. That single sentence sends shockwaves throughout the world. The implications are staggering. Earth's future is in the hands of beings who claim to have uplifted humanity before, but their motives remain unclear. What do they mean by shaping? Are they here to offer guidance or to impose their will upon a species they consider incomplete? Governments frantically discuss strategies. Some prepare for war, others for negotiation, but the global panic is palpable. Meanwhile, underground movements start to form. Some see this as an opportunity for advancement, while others fear the progenitors' true intentions are far darker than anyone can imagine. Tension rises as world leaders struggle to understand the significance of the progenitors' arrival and how their power could forever alter human existence. Ayla's investigation takes her deeper into the past than she ever intended. In long-forgotten texts, she uncovers stories of a rebellion, humans who once rejected the progenitors' guidance, choosing independence over divine intervention. These rebels, the ones who had once been uplifted, now saw the progenitors' return as a threat to their very soul. And so, they sealed away Earth's heart, a core of ancient power, hidden deep beneath the planet's surface, protected by layers of earth and technology. Ayla stands on the precipice of a terrifying truth. If the progenitors find the heart, they will finish their work. Humanity's autonomy will be gone. It shakes her to the core. How can she stand against beings who may hold the key to human evolution? The moral dilemma is overwhelming. Do they resist, or do they allow themselves to be shaped as the progenitors had intended? Meanwhile, Ro uncovers a military conspiracy that shakes him even more. He learns of a group called the Watchers, an organization that has long prepared for the progenitors' return. The Watchers knew and had been safeguarding humanity's autonomy for centuries, watching over Earth's heart. The betrayal runs deep. How many have known this truth for so long without ever telling the rest of the world? Ayla and Ro are on a collision course with fate. They are now caught between two competing forces, the progenitors' overwhelming influence and the rebellious will of a hidden humanity willing to fight back for their freedom. As the progenitors begin to reformat the moon, humanity's worst fears are realized. The moon, once a silent sentinel in Earth's sky, is transformed into a vast neural hub, its surface pulsating with strange, shifting energies. It becomes a powerful focal point for the progenitors, a place where their influence can be projected across the globe. And it doesn't stop there. Earth's atmosphere begins to shift in response to the progenitors' technology. The air feels heavier, more oppressive, as though the planet itself is being reshaped. Weather patterns grow erratic, natural disasters become more frequent, and entire regions are plunged into chaos. Humanity is running out of time. The sense of urgency is overwhelming. Ayla and Ro know that the window for action is closing fast. They must move quickly, but their resources are limited. The ancient systems that the progenitors have activated are powerful, but they are also a symbol of just how far Earth's past has been buried. What else lies beneath the surface, waiting to be unlocked? With time running out, humanity's resistance begins to coalesce. Governments, military forces, and underground factions come together in a fragile but essential alliance. This is humanity's last chance to preserve its future, and it is now a race against time. Ayla, Ro, and others are forced to confront the reality of their situation. Earth stands on the brink of total subjugation. The resistance is disorganized, but their resolve is unshakable. There is no unity in their methods, but there is a shared determination, one that can't be extinguished by alien influence. They will fight to protect what remains of their world. The progenitors are powerful, and the odds are stacked against humanity. But there is something irreplaceable in the human spirit, an ability to adapt, to fight, to rise above the impossible. The storm is gathering, the battle for Earth's survival has begun. The sun sets over a planet teetering on the edge of collapse. Earth is bathed in the long shadows cast by the massive progenitor ships now stationed above, silently observing, their sleek, otherworldly shapes casting a dark veil over cities. No one knows their purpose, and no one can comprehend their technology. Every country on Earth, once divided by borders, now stands on the precipice of extinction.
From the Arctic to the deserts, from the crowded streets of Beijing to the bustling markets of New York, humanity knows that it has no choice but to unite. The nations that once fought for supremacy now turn their weapons inward, all focused on a singular goal: survival. A giant hologram flickers to life, showing images of the progenitors' vessels from every corner of the Earth. Governments scramble for communication. A world leader's voice cracks with fear. We don't know if they are here to destroy us or elevate us, but we cannot stand divided. A sense of awe fills the air as once isolated colonies, from Mars to the moons of Jupiter, broadcast their support. Volunteers from space stations, deep space research vessels, and once untouched colonies now join Earth's fight, offering experimental technologies, unknown technologies, some alien, others perhaps gifts from humanity's ancient past. Despite this unity, the progenitors' power is overwhelming. Their ships seem to warp the very fabric of space around them. Entire cities fall into eerie silence, their lights dimming, their inhabitants paralyzed by an unseen force. Humanity fights for relevance against a power that seems beyond any comprehension. In every corner of the world, human resolve hardens. Even as Earth's citizens face near certain annihilation, they know this is their last chance to prove the one thing they've always stood for: survival against impossible odds. Ayla stands before a terminal, her fingers shaking as she deciphers the ancient code she's unearthed from the depths of Earth's forgotten history. The texts, long buried and abandoned, speak of a rebellion, of a time before the progenitors ruled, when humanity dared to defy their so-called guidance. The Vault of Silence lies beneath Antarctica, a place frozen in time, hidden beneath layers of ice and snow, but crucial to humanity's survival. Ayla's heart races as she reads the final passage. The null core, hidden within the vault, holds the power to sever their control over Earth. It is our last hope. She knows the journey will be dangerous, far beyond the reach of any normal mission. But there's no time to waste. The progenitors are reshaping the moon, altering the very air humanity breathes. Every passing moment brings them closer to total domination. Ayla stands, gathering her team, Ro, the reluctant soldier, and Elena, the scientist who once thought humanity's fight against the progenitors was futile. But now, even Elena's doubts have shifted. We don't have a choice, Ayla says, her voice hardening. We find the null core, or we perish. They prepare for the journey south, to the frozen wasteland that holds humanity's salvation or its destruction. The air is thick with tension as their ship lifts off, the vast expanse of Earth below them, but now a battleground. The stakes have never been higher.
The Vault of Silence is no easy target. It sits beneath an impenetrable shield of alien tech, its surface covered with geometrical patterns, flickering with light as if alive. As Ayla and her team approach, the temperature drops to deadly levels. Their breath catches in the icy air, each step bringing them closer to the unknown. A voice crackles over their comms. Ro, ever the pragmatist, voices the fears they all feel but dare not speak. This place, it's not just about technology. It's something else. Something designed to keep us out, to break us. Ayla's mind races, each second a battle against the fear creeping up her spine. They've faced hostile alien species before, but nothing compares to the presence of the progenitors. This isn't just about technology. This is about ancient power that no human was meant to challenge. As they reach the vault's exterior, strange waves of energy ripple through the air, causing the ground to tremble. The energy fields around the vault pulse with an alien rhythm. They struggle to find a way through, but each attempt only triggers more resistance, more obstacles. Ancient alien defenses activate, causing a blinding flash, and they find themselves confronted with more than just technology. They face the echoes of an ancient betrayal. Fear and doubt weigh heavily on their shoulders, but they can't turn back. Not now. Ayla and her team finally breach the vault's outer defenses, but their victory is short-lived. As they enter the inner chamber, they are met by a dazzling, blinding light. Figures, luminous, flawless beings, appear before them, radiating an energy that fills the air with both awe and terror. "We are the progenitors, your creators," one speaks, its voice a mixture of calm authority and subtle threat. "You are not meant to resist. You were made to be perfect. Join us. Embrace what we offer." The beings are not armed with weapons. They come with words. The message is clear: surrender. They offer to elevate humanity, to make them perfect, beyond the limits of flesh, beyond the pain of survival. Ayla's heart races as she stands before them, the weight of their words pressing down on her. The progenitors promise an end to suffering, an end to war, but at the cost of free will. Ro, watching in silence, knows the cost too well. A mind without freedom is no mind at all. But the progenitors' offer is tempting. Humanity's scars run deep, and their message strikes at the heart of every survivor. "The future you dream of is within your grasp. Join us," the envoy continues, their gaze piercing. Ayla's hand trembles on the controls of the null core as she contemplates their offer. Is it worth giving up freedom to end the suffering? Or is humanity more than the progenitors ever intended them to be? Ro's thoughts are a whirlwind as he stands beside Ayla, the weight of military orders pressing down on him. His job is clear: destroy the progenitors, no matter the cost. But the longer they stay on this path, the more uncertain he becomes. He watches Ayla, torn between her commitment to the mission and her growing empathy for the progenitor's vision. He can see the hesitation in her eyes, and he knows the pain of making the wrong choice. Ro's internal battle rages. He was trained to fight, not to question. But as the progenitor's envoys whisper of perfection and unity, Ro feels the ground shift beneath him. The world he's known, the people he's protected, may not be the ones he's fighting for anymore. Fear grips him. What if they fail? What if the war is lost before it even begins? What if we're wrong? He asks aloud, his voice barely a whisper. Ayla doesn't respond, but her silence speaks volumes. She too feels the uncertainty, but there is no turning back now. They must make their stand. Finally, they reach the inner sanctum of the vault, and in its heart lies the answer they've sought, a preserved memory of a human from the first rebellion. The holographic figure flickers to life, its voice ancient yet resonant with strength. "We were born to be tools, but we became more." That's what they fear. In that moment, Ayla and her team understand the truth. Humanity was never meant to be subservient to the progenitors. The progenitors may have created them, but it is humanity that will define its future. The memory of rebellion ignites a fire within Ayla. Humanity is not just a species, it is an idea, a force that cannot be controlled. As Isla touches the null core, a surge of energy courses through her, unlocking not just technology, but the legacy of human resilience. The fight for freedom is not just a battle of survival, it is a battle for the soul of humanity. The final choice is clear: to surrender or to rise. "We are not your children," Isla says, her voice filled with conviction. "We are humanity, and we are more than you ever imagined." And with that declaration, the final chapter begins.
The air crackles with tension as the first signs of the progenitor's ships pierce Earth's atmosphere. Massive, towering vessels descend from the heavens, their gleaming surfaces reflecting the light of a dying sun. The intent of these celestial invaders is unmistakable. Earth will be reshaped, redefined, remade into a world more suited to their vision. The air grows thick with dread, but beneath the surface, humanity's greatest secret is unfolding. In hidden laboratories scattered across the world, the last hope of mankind is unleashed. Gravity warpers hum with energy, quantum disruptors flicker to life, and antimatter rings activate with the eerie glow of contained chaos. These weapons, years, decades, centuries in the making, are humanity's final defense against an overwhelming force. They were designed in the shadows, created in desperation, and now they are humanity's last chance. As the progenitors approach, their ships emitting a cold, calculated silence, the first wave of human defenses is fired. A wave of gravity warps shatters the atmosphere, but the progenitors' vessels absorb the shock effortlessly, their shields unscathed. Quantum disruptors release beams of energy so intense that the very fabric of reality seems to bend. Yet, to the invaders, it's like a mere ripple in the ocean, insignificant, unremarkable. The antimatter rings explode in flashes of light and energy, but nothing touches them. Humanity's weapons, advanced, powerful, are powerless. The progenitors' mastery of physics and technology, their near divinity, leaves the human forces in awe and despair. As the first cities fall silent without a shot fired, a heavy realization dawns. Earth's best defenses have been rendered useless. The progenitors are too far beyond human understanding, and humanity's traditional means of resistance are no match for their might. The battlefield is set, but the war has just begun. Amid the devastation, Isla stands at the heart of humanity's final hope. The Null Core, the ancient artifact buried beneath Antarctica, was designed for this very moment. But as Isla stands before it, she realizes that the key to victory lies not in brute force, but in understanding the progenitor's true power. The Null Core doesn't destroy, it reveals. She takes a deep breath, her fingers trembling over the core's controls. The weight of centuries of fear presses against her chest. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of what will happen if the progenitors win. Yet in this critical moment, Isla realizes that to win, she must first shed her own fear. She must embrace the unknown, the uncertainty, the chaos that humanity has always thrived in. With a single command, Isla activates the core. A surge of energy pulses through her, and the world seems to fade away. Time and space blur, and Isla is thrown into the past, a wave of memories crashing over her. The progenitors, those gods in the sky, are not gods at all. They are flawed ancestors, creators terrified of humanity's chaotic growth. Humanity's free will, its unpredictability, is their greatest fear. The truth cuts through the darkness like a beacon. The progenitors do not rule Earth, they fear it. And now, Isla holds the key to humanity's true rebellion. As Isla's mind connects fully with the Null Core, a ripple of energy spreads across the globe. It begins slowly, subtle, like the flicker of a forgotten memory, and then grows rapidly like a wildfire. Across the world, humans feel something shift inside them, a deep, primal awakening. Minds once shackled by the progenitor's influence begin to stir, breaking free from the mental cages they were trapped in. The progenitors never expected this. They thought they had controlled humanity's development, had locked away the true potential of the human mind. But now, with the Null Core's activation, every human on Earth feels the power awaken within them. They feel their connections to each other, their creativity, their latent abilities, all unlocked, all freed. In cities, people stop in their tracks, overwhelmed by a wave of insight, a flood of knowledge that had long been dormant. The collective strength of humanity is awakened, and with it, a psychic wave spreads, disrupting the progenitor's control grids. The connection is not just a mental one, it is almost spiritual, a deep, universal bond that binds every human together in a shared moment of defiance. The progenitors, for the first time, fear.
The battle rages outside, and Ro knows what must be done. Ayla is close to unlocking the Null Core's full power, but the progenitor's drones descend upon her position with lethal intent. Ro, ever the soldier, stands at the front lines, his heart heavy with the weight of his orders. He must buy Ayla the time she needs, even if it means sacrificing himself. The drones come, a swarm of deadly, sleek machines, their metallic surfaces glinting in the harsh light. Ro fights with all the strength he has, his weapons blazing, his body pushed to the limit. Each blow he strikes is a testament to humanity's will to survive, to fight for the future, no matter the cost. But the drones are relentless. Ro is wounded, his vision blurring with each passing second, yet he presses on. He fights not for glory, but for the future of all mankind. With every step, every shot, he buys Ayla the time she needs to finish what they started. And then, in a final desperate push, Ro takes a stand. A wave of progenitor drones rushes toward him, and with a defiant roar, he charges into the fray. His last words are not of fear, but of defiance. For humanity. The drones close in, but Ro's sacrifice is not in vain. Ayla completes the connection, and the Null Core hums with unimaginable power. As Ayla's mind reaches its full connection with the Null Core, a flood of energy surges through her. The experience is overwhelming. Light, sound, emotions, all rushing at her in waves too powerful to comprehend. She is on the brink of death, her mind straining under the weight of the knowledge flowing through her. But she refuses to break. She sees it, the memory of humanity's earliest rebellion, preserved in the core. She feels the connection to those who fought before her, those who gave everything to ensure humanity's survival. She is not just a part of history, she is its continuation, its future. The truth comes crashing down. The progenitors created humanity, but they could not control it. They feared humanity's growth, its unpredictability. They built us to be tools, but we became something more, something they could never anticipate. Ayla holds on to that truth, even as the progenitor's power presses against her, even as her body falters. She reaches out, using the connection to force them to see the truth of what humanity has become. A species not bound by design, but thriving in its chaotic, unpredictable nature. The progenitors recoil, unable to grasp the full extent of the threat before them. And Ayla, despite the near-fatal toll the connection takes on her body, stands as the symbol of humanity's final rebellion. The war is far from over, but for the first time, humanity is no longer a tool to be used. It is a force to be reckoned with. And the progenitors will learn what it means to face the full wrath of humanity. The darkened skies overhead, once filled with the oppressive presence of the progenitors' colossal ships, begin to clear. The silence is deafening. Earth, battered and scarred, stands resilient below. Humans, their bodies bloodied but unbowed, take in the realization they have won. The progenitors, once invincible, are retreating, their immense power no longer able to hold sway. It's a strange sight. Those who had once claimed to be gods, the architects of humanity's very existence, now withdrawing, defeated not by the strength of weapons or armies, but the will of a species they had underestimated. From the largest progenitor ship, the voice echoes, a deep, resonant sound that vibrates through the air and into every human ear. We came to shape you, but you have shaped yourselves. There's a pause, a long silence, as if the cosmos itself is holding its breath. The weight of those words hangs in the air, and for the first time, humanity understands its place.
not as a creation to be molded, but a force of nature that cannot be controlled. The progenitors, once the supreme beings, now realize what they feared most: humanity's independence. In this moment, they retreat, leaving Earth forever changed. And humanity, standing in awe, begins to realize that their true strength was never in their weapons or technology, but in their refusal to be defined by anyone, least of all their creators. As the progenitors vanish into the stars, they leave behind something unexpected: a single emissary. It is an advanced AI, silent and mysterious, its form shifting and abstract, a symbol of both their power and their acknowledgement of humanity's ascension. This emissary does not come with a message of dominance or control. Instead, it observes. It does not demand submission, nor offer false promises of peace. It simply exists in the background, quietly watching humanity as it evolves and grows. Ayla, now standing before it, senses its power, a force capable of unimaginable feats. Yet, it holds no malice, no purpose, but to observe. The AI is the last echo of the progenitors, but it is clear that this new era is not about conquest or subjugation. The question lingers: what does this emissary want? Or, more accurately, what does humanity want now that it has proven its strength? The emissary's presence is unsettling, yet humbling. It no longer represents an oppressor, but a witness to the remarkable transformation of a species that no longer needs to answer to anyone but itself. The transformation of Earth is gradual but profound. The scars left on the moon by the progenitors are permanent, but they are no longer symbols of defeat. Instead, they stand as proud reminders of humanity's victory, of their refusal to yield. Beneath the surface of the Earth, deep vaults once hidden from human eyes begin to open. These ancient chambers, once sealed by the progenitors to control humanity's potential, now reveal their secrets. Books, artifacts, technologies, remnants of a past long buried, are unlocked. Knowledge once suppressed is now free for all to explore. The sky itself seems brighter as humans take their first steps into this new era. They are no longer shackled by the myths of their origins, but empowered by the knowledge of the truth. The war is over, and humanity, united as never before, is poised to take its place among the stars. With this newfound freedom, Earth transforms. Cities rise, green spaces grow, and people work together, not as fractured nations, but as one species, determined to face the future with strength and unity. The journey of discovery has just begun, and Earth, once on the brink of destruction, now stands as a beacon of hope for the universe. In the aftermath of the battle, Ro stands among the survivors. His body is battered, scarred by the fight, but his spirit remains unbroken. For so long, he fought not just for humanity's survival, but for his own belief in the cause. Ro's journey was never just about physical survival. It was about confronting his inner demons, his doubts, and his fears. He had witnessed the loss of friends, faced near-death experiences, and questioned his place in the world. Yet now, in the quiet aftermath, he stands tall as a symbol of the human spirit's resilience. The war is over, but Ro's story is not. He may have been a soldier once, but now he is something more. He is a part of the new world, a guiding force in the rebuilding of humanity. The sacrifices he made, the battles he fought, are not in vain. Ro may not wear the title of hero, but his actions, his unwavering courage, will forever be etched into the fabric of Earth's new history. Ayla, now known as the Speaker of the Core, stands at the forefront of a new renaissance. The transformation within her is complete. Once a scientist seeking answers, she is now a visionary, leading humanity into a new age of exploration, knowledge, and self-discovery. Her connection to the Null Core, the artifact that unlocked humanity's hidden potential, has transformed her. She is no longer just a woman. She is the embodiment of what humanity can achieve when freed from the control of its creators. Her mind is a bridge between the past and the future, a conduit for the knowledge and power humanity now possesses. As Speaker,
Ayla works tirelessly to guide Earth into its new role in the cosmos. She does not lead with authority or force, but with wisdom and understanding. Her legacy will be one of discovery, not only of the universe, but of the depth of humanity's own potential. And so, as Earth begins its journey into the stars, Ayla stands as a symbol of the hope that humanity, now free from the progenitor's grip, will chart its own course. The past may have shaped them, but the future is theirs to create. The Grand Chamber of the Interstellar Cultural Council is awash in soft, radiant light. Thousands of alien species, each with their unique forms, listen intently. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, and the air hums with the weight of history. At the center of it all stands Ayla, her presence commanding the room. The once shy scientist, now a revered leader, stands at the podium, gazing out at the vast assembly. She takes a deep breath, her voice steady yet filled with power. Her words reverberate across the chamber, each syllable holding the gravity of 1,000 lifetimes of struggle. Today, we no longer sit in the shadows of others. We stand shoulder to shoulder with you, not as subjugated beings, but as equals. The fight for freedom, for self-determination, has brought us here. Together, we shape the future, one where no species is bound by another's will. Her eyes scan the room, the alien faces watching her with a mixture of awe and respect. Humanity has become more than just a survivor. They've become a beacon, a symbol of what it means to rise against all odds and to create something of one's own destiny. The journey has been long, but now, standing before these civilizations, many of whom once saw us as nothing more than pawns in a cosmic game, there is no fear. Only the certainty that humanity is ready. The universe can no longer ignore us. We were created to be shaped, but instead, we have shaped ourselves. The words echo, carrying with them the weight of an entire species' triumph. The chamber grows still. The progenitors, once gods in the eyes of many, now stand at the periphery of this new reality. Their ancient gaze is no longer one of control, but of quiet observation. Ayla knows this. Her closing words will seal the future of humanity and its place in the stars. She steps forward, her voice rising in clarity and resolve. They came to conquer their past. Instead, they found us, waiting, watching, and ready. The room is silent for a moment. The very air feels thick with history. Those who once served the will of the progenitors now stand as free beings. Their struggle against impossible odds had forged something greater than the sum of their parts. Humanity had turned the tables, and the galaxy would now bend to their vision. It's over. We have surpassed what was expected of us. The progenitors no longer control us. The future belongs to us now. As her words settle, a soft murmur ripples through the crowd. The progenitors' retreat has already begun. Their role in the galaxy is now that of observers, not masters. Humanity has claimed its place, not through destruction, but through an undeniable will to evolve beyond the bounds imposed upon them. As Ayla's final words fade into the chamber, something incredible happens. The stars visible outside the grand windows of the chamber begin to shimmer. One by one, they shift. Subtle, imperceptible movements, but the effect is profound. It's as though the cosmos itself is reacting to humanity's triumph, adjusting its course to reflect the seismic change occurring on Earth. The stars, they shift. It's as if the very fabric of the universe has taken notice. The progenitors are watching, but they are no longer the rulers of this galaxy. We are. From across the galaxy, distant worlds seem to align, as if paying tribute to the human spirit. Far beyond these celestial bodies, the progenitors, the once unquestioned gods of the universe, now look upon humanity not as conquerors, but as students. For the first time in eons, they are learning from those they once sought to dominate. The stars twinkle. a quiet testament to the unspoken acknowledgement of humanity's growth. They were no longer a species shackled by their origins. They had become something greater than their creators. This is only the beginning. We are not just survivors, we are the future. The galaxy will look to us not for what we have been, but for what we will become. The cosmic shift is subtle but unmistakable, a harbinger of a new order where humanity is no longer a pawn, but a player in the vast game of the universe.